AEW 5th anniversary show. Good God, it's been 5 years. Man. NXT on CW. We give our thoughts on that one. Bad Blood predictions. An interesting version of 3 count. And the main event. All this on more on your favorite pro wrestling podcast. None other than the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling Podcast. Eddy, Brad, Marcus.
Yo.
Gents, what's going on? We're here again. By the time you hear this, it'll probably be later on the week, but it was a Wednesday night, a great Wednesday night. I'm feeling good off of a Cadillac Margarita. I ain't gonna lie to you about that. I'm feeling pretty good. But it is pretty good. Can't complain. Here to talk about some ProGraps. Before we get started, RIP to WWE Hall of Famer Pete Rose. Didn't see that coming. MLB, baseball, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should have put him in the Hall of Fame. Posthumously, I don't know. I don't like it. Also to Dikembe Mutombo. In our group chat, Brad and Marcus both, they shared stories about their interactions with Dikembe Mutombo. Yeah, bigger than life, man. Bigger than basketball, man. He was absolute humanitarian. So RIP to both of those, and wherever Morgan Freeman is, put him in a Ziploc bag or something. Put him up somewhere.
Him and Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, him, Stevie. Yeah, put them. What's left of them? Put them up there too. Yeah. So here we are with the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling Podcast, fellas. Are we ready to go ahead and hop into it?
Yep.
Let's get it.
All right. So we just finished watching AEW 5th anniversary. And the main event was Kazuchika Okada and the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. I think this is for the first time in history that AEW Dynamite used their overage time.
It went 30 minutes over.
A whole 30 minutes.
30 minutes. I mean, Modern Family came on like at a normal time. They didn't give us the little, this show is now in progress or whatever notice they usually give. Started fresh on the half hour.
Yep.
That they did. What y'all think about that main event, fellas? Was it how you feel about it?
I thought their first 2 bouts were better. Now, granted, I will say this: I had to watch most of the match from my phone as I was putting my daughter to bed. But even from what I could see, it still just it was good. Don't get me wrong, it was good, but it didn't hit the way the first 2 times they wrestled hit. And I mean, I honestly thought that Ospreay and Ricochet was the match of the night, and I'm glad they left the door open for that as well to continue that one and not just have it be a one and done. But yeah, the Okada and Danielson, it was a good match. It was definitely a solid match. It definitely picked up towards the end, but I don't think it was their best one and stuff. I do like how they ended it though. It made both of them look strong. Well, it made Okada look strong in defeat by having Pac and Claudio come out and kind of cause a distraction and let Danielson get the roll up. So I hope that maybe we can get that once more before Danielson calls it a career.
Yeah, we got to run it back, man, one more time. Brad, what you think about it?
It's okay. Like Marcus mentioned, it was, even though this was their 3rd match, it wasn't as strong as the first 2. That one at, I think it was Forbidden Door, and then the one at Wrestle Kingdom. The one at Wrestle Kingdom is probably my favorite out of these 3 matches. It was okay. It was kind of a decent build up with this broken BCC thing, and leading up to next week's match with Wheeler and Bryan Danielson versus Claudio and Pac next week. So we'll see.
Right. So we only had what? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many matches were there in total? Like, wasn't a whole lot of matches, were they?
There was only a handful of matches. To be honest.
Yeah, that's what I saw, because I was like, Private Party and who?
It was the Iron
Titty
Savages. City.
They're going to Titty City.
Those dudes were crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It was them, Serena Deeb, and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Who else? Ricochet and Will Ospreay opened the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who
else?
Is that it?
Yeah.
I think that was it.
Then you had Jericho out there running his mouth, and he accidentally calling Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. That always works well.
But I wonder though, being that he's kind of mocking Hogan, I wonder if he meant to do that, kind of how Hogan didn't Hogan do that back in the day. He was in Detroit, but he called Detroit. I forgot which city he called him. Silverdome.
He called New Orleans.
Yeah.
The Pontiac Silverdome instead of the Mercedes-Benz Superdome.
I'm hearing the Pontiac Silverdome. I'm like, bro, that place been torn down for about 20 years, man.
Like, whoops.
Yeah. That place has been torn down. Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Which can I say this? Like, Brad, I know you posted in the group that was your bathroom / food break, Matt, part when the Learning Tree segment came on. Mm-hmm. But Big Bill and Brian Kiefer, actually, I think they're flourishing right now in their roles. Yeah. And like Big Bill kind of like, did you see it at all, or like from the kitchen? Nope, you just completely walked away.
I saw some of it.
But yeah, like Big Bill himself, like he gave like the kind of the opening to that segment and introduced Jericho. And that dude can talk on the mic, and I think that's something that we've known for a while, and I know I've forgotten it since his WWE days. But it's like, well, this guy is actually good on the mic. Yeah, he's more than just the big guy, and he introduced, Jericho, and then Brian Keefe came out, and Brian Keefe reminds me, I think I said this before, maybe I did, maybe I don't remember, but Brian Keefe, he reminds me of the black dude Ali on Family Guy, the weatherman. Y'all know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, Ali, what's the weather? It's gonna rain. Like, that's what Brian Keefe reminds, like he got Tourette's or something. I better respect Chris Jericho. Like, that's all he does. And what did he say? He said something tonight like, I better stand the hell up for Chris Jericho or whatever he said. It should have me laughing though. Yeah. We might need the E for this episode. Eddie is already coming out.
It's all good. We're gonna put E on that thing.
I was about to say I failed to censor myself just now.
Yeah, but hey, we're gonna be like old boy and what's the old boy Sloppy Seconds? Get naked and stay naked.
Yes. Eddie said he had the Cadillac Margarita. I have my old friend Vino here. Actually, is a glass of Barefoot Cabernet left over from hurricane preparations last week. So I decided to crack it open tonight as we talk about ProGraps. So here we are. Already starting to feel it.
Yep. And thoughts and prayers to everybody that was affected by Hurricane Helene, especially parts of northern Georgia.
Western North Carolina,
parts of Western South
Tennessee.
Carolina. Yeah, southeastern Tennessee. Our thoughts and prayers go out to you. They kind of held up there in Appalachia, man. And if you think about it, if you look at hurricanes, you think a hurricane going over Boone, North Carolina, going over Asheville. That's unheard of because that's the mountains. But hurricane's path, it really did something different. So like, damn, we thought the mountains was a safe space, but it just goes to show if you're in the state of South Carolina. Yes, it's not safe, but I'm not trying to make a joke out of the situation, but I just want to just give out my condolences to everybody that's affected by it. And if anybody out there, if you can help in any kind of way, do it. I don't care if you're praying, sending something to them, just do it because these people need it now more than ever, and this is your chance to be a blessing, not a burden. All right, so with that being said, we can all agree that Dynamite was okay because was Wrestle Dream coming up in 2 weeks, right?
Yep.
Yes.
I think it's the 12th, right?
Yes.
Not this weekend, but the following.
Weekend.
Yeah, next weekend. So, man, that's coming up fast.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up fast, and you best believe we're going to give you a preview of that as well, too. The NXT debuts on the CW Tuesday night. Shout out to Brad for giving everybody the link. Hey, see if you got this damn network. Yeah, shout out to Brad. That's some MVP top level shit there. So I do have the CW in my area. Only problem is I got this heavily modified cable package, and I don't have it. And the CW is not a part of the package, so I call and talk to them. But I'm like, it's too late, and I don't want to do that because I was going to swap out, Sci-Fi Channel in this place, put the CW there. But I got the app.
Oh, okay.
I wound up finding the app, and I wound up watching the entire episode today.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so that's my new Wednesday ritual now. Hey, didn't NXT used to come on Wednesdays?
It did.
Yes, it
Oh,
did.
okay.
Yep.
And
Okay.
then
So
AEW kind of spoiled the party for them on that.
yeah, they boot them out of their own time spot. It's bad.
Yes.
Hey, get your ass out the way.
And
Yep,
it sucked too. I remember that because like I was very, very torn once like AEW Dynamite started on Wednesdays. It's like, oh man, that's NXT night, and this was like in the midst of the Black and Gold era, so you know they were cooking. They cooking feasts, and it was tough trying to like I tried to do the back and forth thing and whatever, and eventually, of course, AEW kind of won, and then NXT moved to Tuesdays, and then Vince and Pritchard came in and ruined things. So I won't even get into all that right now. But hey,
Yeah, they absolutely. Yeah, that whole 2.0 thing. First of all, now you guys have a difference in opinions about the belts. That you do. And it's very interesting. I like it. Mark is like, I'm cool with it. Brad was like, cheap ass belts, man. But I think I
he called
think
them
that
the salt and pepper belt
the salt and pepper belts.
because they're bland and whatever. I like them personally, y'all. Just saying.
I don't like them.
It kind of gives me. I wish you had a picture to look at it. It kind of gives me the WWE CW belt vibes.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
In a way, but maybe it's the angle they had the belt at. So as I look at this picture here, NXT Championship belt, I'm just like, because I was at work, I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. And I looked at it, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. But in actuality, I kind of like it. It's going to be something for me to get used to. I think they should have just brought back the last NXT title that had the big X, the N and the T. Yeah, that one.
I'll go get it.
Yeah, get it. Yeah, get it. Yeah.
Yeah, just so the viewers at home can see the beauty of this championship.
Yeah, that's when they should have reverted back to that.
I do like that belt. I love that belt actually.
Yeah, that's the one. Look at that. That's the one they should have reverted back to that because you mean that's when they should revert to. You mean to tell me if you can pretty much marry the latest rendering of the Intercontinental Championship and the old oval mid 2000s Intercontinental Championship and make it look better than what it was, you could do the same thing with this one.
Yeah. I think it's just because they added the blue globes to the new Intercontinental Championship that makes it look good versus it just being all black and gold. Shout out to Jay Uso.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it like pop a little bit. That the little accent of blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show the globe in the oceans.
I was like, if you think about it, that IC belt has elements of all three belts. That's all good. If you think about it, the Intercontinental title has elements of all three belts, three renditions of the belts. The blue for the globe was on the first IC title and that rendering IC title. And then when that one, the first OG. And then when they went back to it, I think, the globe on that one is small. But the globe on the other one is kind of long, like one of them old NWA territorial belts.
Yeah.
And then, and it's just like they took that, they took the globe, cut it in half, and stuck it on a new belt. I mean, it looks good. It's like, oh, this random ass color of blue. But yeah, the belts don't look that bad. They gotta take me getting used to it. I'm gonna take that back about the old WWE CW belt because that belt was atrocious. Yeah, that should never see the light of day.
No. No. I mean, I don't know why they threw away the previous one, the one that ECW actually had, because, I mean, it was ECW. That was the championship to have in that company. And I think Bobby Lashley had it for a little bit. And then I think that's when they changed it, like, later on. Hated that new belt, the WWE ECW belt. It's awful.
Yep. B Live said now the Astros and the Braves are on the couch.
Good. That's all I ever wanted. Sorry to Braves fans, but we played y'all in the World Series before y'all beat us. So I have had animosity for years. Yes, I am petty and I hold grudges.
What? Hey, hell, like I said, we just did like Bob Holly. Put us in the World Series. We beat everybody.
As a Braves fan, I just want to say the team was decimated by injuries this year.
It was destroyed.
That's all
man.
I gotta say.
It was bad pitching. Acuna for the second time in what 4 years?
Yep, Acuna, Spencer Strider, Michael Harris, Ozzie Albies. We just lost half our doggone team, man.
Yeah, it was rough. It was just so rough. All right, so let's get back to talking about wrestling, shall we? All right, so the match is on NXT on CW. First of all, when I watched, I was like, this has a different feel to it. And as Uncle Marcus stated in the group chat, we've gotten so used to the intimate setting. But now, like, this past week they were in Chicago in arena, and then they're going to be going to St. Louis next week in an arena. And I was like, but you got to think, man, that's the growth of NXT, because that Chicago, they pack that place out.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chicago's always going to bring it. Whether it's WWE, AEW, don't matter what. The Chicago crowds always come through and represent.
Yeah. That's one thing I can't. Go ahead.
I was going to say, even more so when your boy Punk's going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that helped too, man. That really helped a big deal too. Jada Parker is something special. That's all I got to say.
Oh, yes, she is. Oh, yes, she is.
She is something special. That tag team match with her and Lola Vice, it was funny. She's like, you hit me one time. You hit me. She played that role like, that agitated tough girl role. That's what good gosh, she's something special. Fine and special. I hope you hear this. But anyways, Marcus, our very own Trick Willie from Columbia, is a two-time.
And they announced him from Columbia, South Carolina, too. I popped so hard. Like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 803 stand up.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hey, got it on, representing.
Got the shirt.
Carolina Gamecocks. Yep.
Should have beat LSU, but that's another story. Bigfoot boy. Anyway, so what's your takeaways from this episode, Marcus?
I'll pretty much just say again some of the things I said in the chat. Yeah, like you already stated. I immediately missed the small venue feel. Just because, that's just what we knew NXT as for so long, other than, premium live events here and there. But it is cool to be, to have been a fan as long as I've been a fan of it. And I know I came in midway through the black and gold era. Mm-hmm. It is cool to see how they've grown and how they've evolved. And this doesn't feel like what 2.0 felt. I truly think that they could go to new heights and new places doing this, and I'm imagining that maybe they're getting away from the PC just to give people, maybe an earlier feel of what the road life is like traveling in the WWE, but maybe bigger crowds and being on. I don't want to say CW is a major network, but it's an easy. I don't even want to say that too, because I know a lot of people are having issues with accessing it, and just some people turn on CW and the local news was on or whatever, preventing them from watching it. But many people have the CW on, just their local channels. It's not cable. So hopefully this will get more people watching NXT and including it. In the same breath, they talk about Raw and SmackDown, like, oh, what about NXT, which I've been saying for the longest time now, in my opinion, is the best show that WWE has going right now. But this particular episode, it was a good start, I think. I won't necessarily say anything rocked my socks. If anything, I thought the Julia Roxanne match was really good. Roxy looked great in there with Julia, who we know is just a world beater. Roxy looked like a world beater herself, and I know she's a prodigy. She has that pedigree of being Booker T's prize student, and she did her thing in Ring of Honor before she ever got to WWE, and has been doing her thing since. But this, I think, really put her on the map and solidified it. Just even though it was Cora J helped her win, it was great to see her just kind of stand up in that, and it looks like she's on a trajectory of being upper echelon, not just okay, she's the next big star. No, she's gonna be a big deal when it's all said and done with her career. But between Trick winning the belt again, I'm trying to think of some of the other matches in between on the episode.
Was it Wesley and
Oh yeah, Wesley and Zachary Wentz.
That was a
beat
good
the hell out of each other.
Hard fighting.
Some hard fighting, definitely. What else? Something else. I'm severely blanking. If anything, it does seem like we're probably going to get less of the backstage segments and stuff like that we're used to getting, just because it seemed like the PC was conducive to some of them like being in like the little waiting area in the back and here and there. It looks like it's going to be more traditional. Hey, we're backstage at an arena, some random sports arena somewhere, where you're literally going to see the local sports team on the wall while they're doing their thing. So I'm going to miss that a little bit, but it's going to be interesting to see how they evolve with that. And I think they can do it. It's growing pains, if nothing else.
Yeah, you definitely said, Marcus. It doesn't have that 2.0 ick on it, because those damn belts had the ick on it.
That little colorful mess in the middle plate.
Yeah, I'm just like, nah, I'm like, this ain't. I don't know. We're gonna brighten up a little bit. No. I think Black and Gold was good, and I think this is a chance for them to get back to the Black and Gold roots, and then, like you said, Marcus, elevate as a as a good third brand. And you are right. Like, NXT was for a while, for a very long time, has been a better show than SmackDown and Raw, hands down. Like, hands down. Because you remember when they were like an hour?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then it was like, we got to bump this 2 hours, right? I'm like, you got to bump this to 2 hours. And then you would get some. I mean, it was that Finn Balor. I mean, my favorite one was the Ascension. I think they were in a tag team match versus Hideo Itami and Finn Balor. And I think it's the first time Finn Balor ever debuted the Demon gimmick. It was so funny seeing Connor on the side of the ring, going like this. I got a screenshot somewhere. It is oh my God, it was so hilarious. Like, when I say I laughed, oh my God. My brother's like, what you laughing at? I'm like, he's scared of the demon. Man, he saw Finn Balor got him, he was hunting down, he was all like, looking like a terrified 3-year-old, man. It was so freaking hilarious. But yeah, I think the show ended good. I'm impressed by Julia. And then we had a sighting of the women's tag team champions, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, as they backed up cousin Kalani Jordan.
Shea Butter Baby.
The Shea Butter Babies +1.
Yeah, the Coco Sisters.
Yeah, the Coco Sisters. Yeah, they just beating up everybody, looking good. She's like, see, I got backup, because after Jada Parker got bumped by Lola Vice for the third time, she's like, nah, I'm good. And then the group was formerly known as Toxic Attraction. What's their little name again?
Fatal Influence.
Jesus Christ. What's this?
Toxic Attraction to Fatal Influence.
Yeah, Toxic Attraction was cool. But Fatal Influence is kind of like, it just ain't the same thing. So just imagine, just having all that, and very
sounds like a bad Lifetime movie or something.
Yeah.
Fatal Influence.
Jeff meets Marsha and becomes a fatal influence. Fatal Influence, airing Friday on Lifetime. You can catch this on Lifetime.com or the Lifetime app. Fatal Influence. The hell is going on? What are we doing?
Who's in that group?
Is Fallon Henry, JC Jane, and Jasmine Nix.
Yeah.
I only know one of those three people.
Jasmine Nix had that green thing on.
Yeah, she bad. She bad. I mean, well,
Yes,
look wise. In the ring, I mean, she's learning.
Okay.
Lately, I've been kind of crushing on Fallon Henry for a minute now. It's like I like Fallon, and now she's gone heel and got the bad girl thing going too. It's like, ooh, okay. JC Jane, I've never been a big JC Jane fan. I don't get her allure.
Yeah.
I miss Gigi Dolan.
I'm about to say we missing something.
Kelly.
Yeah, we haven't seen her in a minute.
Yeah.
Because she's hurt. She's injured.
Oh, she's hurt. I didn't realize she was hurt.
Yep, she is injured. But hopefully she comes back next year.
Now, yeah, that's right. She got a long-term injury, man. They also said that Nikita Lyons is back in the ring doing little small shows in Florida.
Yeah, I did see that.
So it'll be
Dickie Steamboat.
Dickie Steamboat,
aka Yam Yam Bigelow.
hey, didn't her and was it her and Jada Parker bump heads? Or it was her and somebody.
Or was it her and Lola Vice?
Lash Legend.
Lash Legend. Oh.
Yeah, I think it was those two that kind of bumped heads. Like, well, that's a whole lot of going on over here.
There's a lot of women right there.
Both of them.
A lot of women. Just mound of women. Both of them.
BOAF. Both.
Yeah. You call yourself, I'm going to go in there and break up the fight. You're going to get your ass beat. Now, what? One of them, both of them 5'10", tall, solid women, sturdy. Yeah, you about to get hit by an Escalade and a Dodge Ram. And tell me if you survive that. Yeah, you'll survive an S10 pickup, but that's no, sir.
Oh, you just missed it. You just mentioned it. The thing I think we're probably gonna miss the most about NXT not being at the PC anymore. The damn parking lot, man. That parking lot was legendary. I didn't think about that until now. Like, oh man, we're not gonna have the damn parking lot anymore. The parking lot is worse than damn Bankhead here in Atlanta past midnight. If y'all who aren't familiar with Atlanta, just think about where you live, or at least the biggest city close to where you live if you live out in the country, and think about the worst neighborhood in that city. That's what the NXT parking lot is akin to, seems like, because people getting jacked, people getting thrown in trunks. D'Angelo caught a body or two out there, man. That NXT parking lot, as soon as you saw that black Dodge Charger pull up, it was on. You better run like Ricky in Boys in the Hood.
Somebody come sticking out the window, I'm gonna get him.
12 gauge shot, like, oh, Ricky, Braun Breaker.
Wait a minute, I thought this was wrestling. What is this?
Hold up, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean, you didn't say anything about this now.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, it is something. It is wild, man. It is the damn parking lot. Like I say, it's a lot of hard fighting, beating downs, and getting slammed on the concrete. People breaking up and people leaving, and
everything is on site.
Mm-hmm.
On site.
Immediately on site.
Yeah, that's why you better leave. You better go from your car straight to the damn door. But by the time you get to the door, you're absolutely getting your ass beat, man. What they say, like the world's most dangerous place in the United States of America? What was that running joke?
Yep, NXT parking lot.
Yep. Pro wrestling, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what it is.
Wrestling.
And we talking about the dangers of a parking lot, like it's a major city. Like what in the world is really going on here? All right, so enough of us rambling about NXT on the CW. We can all agree that a change of pace, being on a different network, is good for business and good for the company. Fellas, just to let you know, I watched all episodes of Mr. McMahon. Ooh baby.
I have yet to start it out.
When you start watching it, just let me know. We'll I'd like to hear your thoughts on it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It might be one of those things though. Until like once football season's over, I might get around to it, only because where I used to have time to watch stuff like that is now taken by a fantasy football podcast.
Best thing about it's only 6 episodes.
Oh, well, how long are they? Like 30 minutes or an hour?
About an hour.
An hour, okay.
Quick watches.
Yeah, quick watches. Yeah, you ain't got to sit there and be like 3 hours of Raw. No, just 1 hour, Mr. McMahon. That's all. That's all. All right, so
Hey,
let's go ahead.
sometimes those things be getting really good though. I don't know about y'all, but like for example, like Dark Side of the Ring, if there were a couple in a row, like ooh, I'll just go ahead and watch the other one or whatever. They were so good.
Yeah, I don't know why my favorite one is like the Herb Abrams and the UWF. And the big dude was talking about the girls coming into the room. He's like, man, we talking about some high class honeys. I was like, who talks like that? We talking some high class, high profile honeys.
Somebody who would hang out with Herb Abrams. That's who.
Yeah. And that dude, the big dude, he's from South Carolina.
Oh.
That was the high class honeys. I'm like, yeah, you sound like them boys on the west side of the state there. That's all you, buddy. We talking some top notch, high class honeys. I was like, what year is this again? And in Herb Abrams, it was just, oof. In future episodes, we're eventually going to have a watch along, and we'll also talk about, certain episodes of Dark Side of the Ring, because I think they weren't talking, they weren't discussion.
They do.
Yeah. I've seen all, 5 seasons? I've seen them all.
I've seen them all too.
I think I've seen them all.
I've seen them all. And Booker T was like, I'll never go back on there again. Ooh.
Seen all of them, seen all of the Tales from the Territory, which I thought those were really good too.
Just them sitting at a table talking, shooting the breeze, man. I was like, oh my God, this is great. This is pull up a chair and grab you something to eat, grab you something to drink, or if you're smoke, grab you some of that too. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about Bad Blood right in your backyard, Marcus, in Atlanta, Georgia, at the State Farm Arena on October 5th, 2024. All right. So also, according to Wikipedia, this will be the first time a WWE event is set to take place on the same night as the UFC pay-per-view since the two companies merged to form TKO Group Holdings in September 2023. As a result, Bad Blood will have the start time of 6 o'clock p.m. 6 o'clock. The old WCW time slot to avoid counter-programming against UFC 307. And the matches goes as follows. We got Liv Morgan. She'll be defending the title against Rhea Ripley. And Dirty Dom's going to be out there being Dirty Dom, doing what he does, try to get in the way. Actually, you know what? He's going to be in a shark cage. We haven't seen a shark cage in quite some time. I think, Marcus, that might be a callback to some old WCW, NWA, Jim Crockett Promotions shark cage. Like, okay, we're in Atlanta. The tie-ins make sometimes people.
That makes sense, yes. Like, I want to say, wasn't like Corny in one of those cages or something?
Yes. Yeah. So sometimes people, I'm gonna tell you right now, when you see things, sometimes you gotta pay attention because the tie-ins are right there. It's all right there. So that'll be interesting. All right.
Oh, that's right. Because Corny busted his hip in that because after he got out, but then when he jumped, he fell on his hip, or was that the scaffold match? I forget.
Both.
Probably both. Because I was like, wasn't Enzo in a shark cage once? A few years ago.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
Because there's parts of 2017 through to 2020 WWE that sometimes pops up. I'll be like, wait, what's on the shark cage?
Yeah, I think Enzo might have been one. I think James Ellsworth was in one.
Yes.
No Chin himself.
I'll tell you what, that was a fun. It was bad, but that period of time of Monday Night Raw between 16 and 19 was interesting.
Yeah.
It was interesting. The hell is this going? You start asking questions what the hell? It was just interessante.
Yes.
Yeah, interessante at best. I think one of the best times for SmackDown was like the the Ruthless Aggression era, because I think Ruthless Aggression was SmackDown. You got a lot of top-notch stuff on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
All right, match number 2 tonight, we got Damian Priest versus Finn Balor in a good old grudge match, and then we have Hell in a Cell. Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Hopefully, this is the blow off to this damn feud.
Please, please be.
They still fighting.
Yeah, no, it's like, oh, come on, y'all. We're sick of this.
Damn near whole year. They've been fighting for it's about
almost
a year.
Yeah, I would say almost a year. About 10 months, and then he got hurt in the Royal Rumble earlier this year, which extended, him not being around. So yeah, 10 months.
Yeah. 10 months, all the PLEs, quite interesting. All right, then we got Nia Jax. She defends her championship against Bayley. And in the main event, we got Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus the Bloodline Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu with Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa outside. 5 matches. And I think the bulk of it will probably be the Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
Probably.
Because you just can't have like a Hell in a Cell match. Like, we're going to do this in 15 minutes. 25. 25. You need to get 25 max.
At least.
Yeah, at least 25 max. This is not a 15-minute match because it's an insult to the concept itself.
Right.
It's just like War Games. You don't have like a full sweeping War Games. You got to have the back and forth. You got to have the climactic ending. Matter of fact, it's that time of the year, fellas. In November, Thanksgiving, War Games. War Games is that's one of my favorite pay-per-views of all time. War Games. You put these jokers in the cage, they fight them, they beating the hell out of each other. It's just, you got the one time where Psycho Sid was trying to powerbomb Brian Pillman. That's crazy, fellas. They are both no longer here with us. Yeah.
He hit the top of the cage.
Yeah, and then he dropped him.
I think he might have legit injured him on that, because I don't know if y'all remember from the Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen DVD or the documentary. They were talking about Sid Vicious at that part, and that's when Rick and Arn were like, yeah, that guy was terrible. He was awful. That was even before the stabbing incident, but they specifically showed that spot where he powerbombed him. And when he did it, Brian's feet hit the top, and he like landed at a weird angle, and like Sid bent down and kind of like pat him on his chest twice. It's like, okay, was that him apologizing, or because he knew he slammed him on his neck, or what? But
yeah, I think Pillman came into the ring already with a gimmick on his shoulder. Yeah, and so Sid just went ahead and boom, and I was like, I don't think that was supposed to happen. Yeah, but over the years, they got smarter and kind of, you got to kind of raise that cage a little bit, man. You know what I'm saying? You got
because it used to be like a short ceiling, didn't it? It was like a real short ceiling.
Yeah, it was very short.
Yeah, there was no jumping off the top rope. There was, everything was just a ground attack, in-ring attack, and that was it.
2 rings at that. It was 2 rings at that. That's the thing. So you had abilities to maybe jump to the other ring, but wasn't doing nothing off the top rope, really.
No.
But, historically, most of the guys in those type of matches, they weren't really like the high-flying, flippy guys anyway, though. So
yeah. Wasn't Ricky Steamboat in one of them, though? Wasn't that Wrestle War 92?
Stinger Squadron?
Possibly.
I want to say
that sounds about right.
I think it was part of Stinger Squadron because it was like Sting, Barry Windham, Dustin Rhodes. I want to say Ricky Steamboat.
Versus the Dangerous Alliance.
Oh my God!
Oh no!
And this is the match.
Right?
Yeah, let me look it up. I'll look it up. But I remember that particular match, and you remember Steve also was talking about CTE don't exist. That dude was getting thrown around. That cage, sir, I believe CTE does exist.
Oh yeah, Steve.
It had your name on it.
Yeah, you was getting ragged on that entire match. Yeah.
Wrestle War 92.
I'm not a CT guy. And speaking of, we're going to get back to Bad Blood, but speaking of the greatest assembly of talent in one faction, it has to be the damn Dangerous Alliance.
Yes, sir.
Very underrated faction in all of us.
Oh my God, because as a young kid, I was like, These dudes are serious.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had, who was it? You had Rick Rude. You had
Rick
Steve
Rude,
Austin,
Arn Anderson,
Arn
Bobby
Anderson,
Eaton,
Bobby Eaton,
Larry
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 Zbyszko,
Zbyszko.
and
And
Paulie and Missy Hyatt as
it was
Paulie.
manager
it was
Valley.
it was Medusa.
It was
Medusa.
Medusa.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was Medusa.
Wasn't Missy Hyatt there too though?
probably like might have been a brief second.
I don't think so. I don't think she was ever in a Dangerous Alliance. I know she was interviewing people. I
Mm,
don't think she was ever in it.
yeah, the Dangerous Alliance, man, they were just, when I say the greatest collection of talent in a stable, I mean, yeah, like, well, Ed, you say that over NWO? Yeah.
Yeah.
You say that over the Four Horsemen? Yeah. You say that over DX? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because all these guys, they were the first Paul Heyman guys. We can say about the Dangerous Alliance. The Dangerous Alliance were the first Paul Heyman guys. You know, you got Rick Rude. Oh, I saw some a few days ago where Rick Rude hit this dude in the mouth, Mark Starr. Because Mark
Oh
Starr
yeah, I
was like,
saw that too. Like potato them and gave them a receipt or something like that. I
yeah,
guess.
yeah, Mark Starr was hitting on the chest and he let one slip. And Rick Rude said, "Bip." And Mark Starr was like, "Uh-oh, I got hit for real."
Oh no.
Yeah, them knees buckled. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Rick caught him.
Oh, but
Dang.
He got his lick back.
what a lot of people don't know, Rick Rude was an amateur boxer when he was in service. Rick Rude was an amateur boxer. So Rick Rude threw them things for real. And you can tell he threw them things. Matter of fact, he caught a body shot by Mark Starr, and Mark Starr fell to the ground. I was like, he doesn't. You get your ass beat for real. Yeah.
There's always some people in old school. Was this in WCW or?
Yeah.
This this happens. This never happens in WWE. It always happens in WCW.
WCW.
You know, because Vince would chew him out probably. What are you doing? Damn it.
Yeah.
It says at that time, what's his name? Braun got a little too excited with Brock, and Brock said,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
rock
you
that
know,
dude's
caught him
jaw.
flush on the chin. And yeah, Braun did the same thing. Them knees buckled. Slow
Yeah.
down.
He's
Yeah.
like, slow down. It's like, damn.
I said, and Brock just said, hit him for real. I was like,
Like, oh.
Yeah.
Straight
He
potatoes.
slowed down too.
Yeah, straight potatoes. Marcus, matches that you're looking forward to on this here Bad Blood pay-per-view, which ones?
Oh man. I will be 100% honest. I'm not excited about any of the matches here. I'm really not. I thought about going to this pay-per-view even, and I looked up the price for the tickets, and the nosebleeds start at like 130, 140, 150. That's before like ticket fees and all that. Plus the hassle of getting down to State Farm Arena, whether I plan on driving, whether I plan on going to like a MARTA station, taking the train in, whatever the case may be, I don't feel like dealing with the hassle of it. That being said, just looking at this card, it's like, this is not really doing it for me. I mean, I'd much rather sit at the crib and watch this instead of go live. And B, well, I didn't say A, but A, that point I just made, and B, it's not really. They might have. These matches could have been random matches on Raw.
They sound like them.
Yeah.
They sound like them, except for the Punk Drew match.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll give you that. The Punk and Drew match is the Hell in the Cell, but even still, I'm not. That match should have been done the last match they had. The Four Corners match.
Yeah.
Bull Rope. It should have been done. I don't want to see old ass CM Punk huff and puff and be gassed out after the first 5-10 minutes and Drew carry the match in a cell. I don't want to see that. You know, like Rhea and Liv, that could be interesting, but at the same time, I just have a feeling that Liv's gonna retain. Bailey and Nia, I have a feeling that Nia's gonna retain, but Tiffy's gonna threaten a Money in the Bank cash in.
This might be the cash in.
It could be.
Tiffy time.
It might be Tiffy time. Finn and Priest, I'm really not interested in seeing this match.
That,
There's no stakes. There's no high stakes on this match.
That could have been an hour number 2 match on Raw.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that Priest is gonna go over just because his rocket is ascending and Finn's, whatever. But if anything, maybe the Bloodline match, Bloodline and Roman and Cody, just to see where this storyline is going after that wonderful, masterful, I don't know what you want to call it, between Roman and Cody a couple of weeks ago. And I know we didn't really talk about that, did we? We talked about that last week.
No, we talked about how it was how much money did it cost to rent the stadium for 2 people.
Right. But the actual piece itself was brilliant. It was like, it stopped me in my tracks. I was like, oh my goodness. And at the end, I was like, y'all need to do more of this. Whatever this was. And I heard Jeremy Borash was like the main guy that did that.
JB.
Our old friend from old school TNA. Like old JB. Like, all right, Jeremy Borash. I'm like, this is what they need to be doing more of. And I don't know, not necessarily being in an empty football stadium or anything like that, but just the cinematic appeal of it all, the way they set it up, the way they had Roman arrive with the caravan and the entourage, and Cody showed up. They met center field, and the camera angles and the drama, and it just felt great. So that alone has me interested in wanting to know what's coming next. Plus, KO not getting to say what he thinks about it. Plus, Randy Orton getting involved. I have a feeling they're going to probably play a factor into this match. So I'm interested in learning about this. So I guess all that being said, I'm interested to see that match. Not really interested to see the rest.
I got you. Yeah, because the build-up was pretty good. Brad, it was kind of like some Lucha Underground type stuff. Mm-hmm. The cinematic effect, yeah. I think wrestling should go more. I'm not with you, Marcus. I think it should go more cinematic instead of more in-ring centric promos. Mm-hmm. But I understand that you have to go in the ring. But sometimes, like, let's go ahead and put them out here in the football field. Let's put them out somewhere and put them in the restaurant. I mean, just make it like reality.
Yeah, just put it in a different scenario, because
different setting. Yeah.
I mean, as you know, as you mentioned, Jeremy Borash was involved. Like, he brought a lot of that cinematic feel to a lot of the backstage things during the Hogan era of TNA. And that was always something cool to see. I always looked forward to seeing those backstage things because it brought a different view. It gave us different standpoint. I mean, even with Joker Sting and his madness that he was doing then, I just like the way the cinematography rolled with that. And I think in wrestling, that is a bit of a missing element outside of that company.
Yeah. Do you remember what they did in Impact where they'd be in Hulk Hogan's office and the blinds would be like this?
Yeah.
And the camera would it was janky as hell, but it was fucking brilliant.
Yes.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant to the point to where it's like, we are really looking and listening to some stuff that we're not supposed to be listening to. It gave me, we are not supposed to be privy vibes, but somebody found a way to get this to us, and now we're privy to the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. Oh my God, a little bit like, yeah. Go ahead, Marcus.
And here's the thing that gets kind of like what you just said, Brad. And this happened tonight on Dynamite even. This is one thing that kind of irks me that goes on in wrestling. I'm not going to put on an Uncle Marcus hat just because I'm a little tipsy right now. But I don't like how...
Do it. No, I'm joking.
I might have to if I go in, whatever. Hopefully it won't be too long. But I don't like how in modern wrestling something will happen on, like last week. Last week it was the match between Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher against the Young Bucks. Mm-hmm. Towards the climax of the match, Don Callis hands Kyle Fletcher the yellow screwdriver, and he's about to bash one of the boys' heads in. And of course, Ospreay jumps in and stops. No, bro, not like this, bro. And throws it away, whatever. Series of events happen. Kyle Fletcher ends up getting hit in the head with the title belt. 1, 2, 3, the Bucks retain. Flash forward to tonight, earlier tonight, Don Callis shows up right before Will Ospreay is about to walk out the curtain. Like, hey, we need to talk about last week. And it's like, so you mean to tell me from tonight, literally when this man has his jacket on, his ring music is literally about to hit, you want to come and have a full conversation about it versus the last 7 days? You mean to tell me y'all couldn't have gone immediately backstage, or even if not immediately, like maybe a day, to y'all's point, maybe have a vignette or have something like maybe later that night or maybe the next day. Will, what was that, bro?
Yeah.
We could have had the match, but why'd you stop? And that could play into stuff instead of, I don't believe Don Callis coming up literally the second before he knows this man's about to get into a very important match. It just doesn't work for me in 2024.
Yeah.
It's like, man, what the hell is this? Like you said, you mean to me you hadn't seen him kayfabe in all those many days, now you want to have a conversation with him? Like, man, come on, man, what are we doing?
2024, everybody's got one of these or an Android.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everybody's got one of these. Everybody's on Facebook. Everybody's on X. Everybody's on IG. Everybody's on TikTok. You have ways to stay connected. Shoot, going back to... Okay, I'm here.
There it is.
Uncle Marcus is in the building. Going back to a couple of years ago during the pandemic, y'all remember? Well, I don't know if you were still watching them, Brad, but remember the feud between the Street Profits and it was Zelina Vega, Andrade, Austin Theory, and whatever that little stable was that they had going on. Y'all remember that?
During Pandemic Raw, I remember that.
Yeah, it was during the early days of the pandemic, empty arenas. They were at the PC.
Yeah, I was still
watching. I want to say Zelina poisoned Montez's drink, and that's when he like passed out. And then a day or two later on Twitch, Zelina's doing her channel, and Bianca rolls up in her crib.
Oh yeah,
and beats her ass,
shit out of her.
Oh my god,
beat the ever piss out of Zelina Vega, but it wasn't canon. We saw it, we knew about it. WWE did not make mention of it. See, stuff like you just said, stuff like that. Like, bro, why not? Why not? This is what we should be doing in this day and age of social media, everybody having this available. We shouldn't have to wait a whole week just to get. Yeah. So what happened last week when we no, go on X. Hey, bro, what the fuck was that?
Marcus, like you said, it's just a continuation of the story.
Yeah,
right. Because see, with some stories, you can't stop them. Okay, there's a developing situation with Kyle Fletcher and Don Callis. People have been talking. Hey, maybe Fletcher turns his back on Ospreay, and it is en route. It is en route. Just like Kofi on E on Kofi. I'm sorry.
Kofi on Woods on Kofi.
Yeah. Woods on Kofi. It's two things we know. Any minute now they just go, and it'll happen. Yeah. So it's just like you said. Okay, we'll just like in the airport. Like, man, what's going on? Make it like. Don't even make it super cinematic. Like you said, Mark, it's just, we got some footage today from a fan on Twitter, and here's what it was about, involving Don Callis and Will Ospreay, and then go to the footage.
Yeah. Shows them walking in the airport over at LaGuardia, and they're kind of like talking about what happened and all that. That would be perfect, because that's what they would do on Lucha Underground, actually. Like, I don't want to give a lot of it away because you haven't seen it yet, Marcus, but you need to watch the show, sir.
I'll get around to it eventually.
Man, Christmas present, just get them all the seasons. You have to watch
I'll take it.
But yeah, like there's a lot of cinematic elements on that show that a lot of companies are using now. And that was innovative in, what was that, 2016, 2015, 2016, 2017, around that time. It was such an innovative thing that they would do. And all the things in what's-his-name's office. Dario Cueto, yeah. all the vignettes in his office. It was like the smoky, seedy boss man's office, and he would be behind the desk and talking either in English with somebody or in Spanish. And they had the subtitles. Well done, well shot. I mean, a lot of companies are stealing those elements now, since that show's no longer around. But that's kind of what they need in wrestling versus just constant, I'm standing in front of the hard camera talking to people, cheers or boos, dummies yelling out what, things like that. We need more of that in pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's just you see like, oh damn, that's what's going on, and they boom. Now we're back to the ring. I forgot I was watching the wrestling telecast. I forgot it altogether. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Marcus. When you get, I know you're a busy man, family man, father, and everything of the above. But when you get yourself, I don't care if it's 10 minutes, go look at it.
Yeah. You will not be disappointed, sir. You will not be disappointed.
I just wish there was a way I could watch it on one of my televisions. I found a way to watch it on my computer, but I would rather watch it on either my big screen or either my TV to my right here. At least I can have that on another screen and watch that. I'll definitely.
Brad, did you say it was on Tubi?
It was on Tubi for a while, and then they took it off.
Oh, assholes.
And now it's on Archive. I think it was on archives.org, and then I think they took that off too. So don't quote me on that though, but I think it's not on there anymore. But,
wait, what? Because that's how I kind of found it. But I got one more ace up my sleeve too, where I saw it was available.
Yeah, it was on Apple.
I won't say that. So
they. This conversation never happened. Yes. But no.
Were you talking about fried chicken? No, go ahead.
Fried chicken.
We're talking about that now.
Fried chicken and Krabby Patties, which debut next week.
Next week, that's what we're talking about.
Next week at Wendy's.
Yeah, fried chicken and Krabby Patties.
But, I was looking at the tickets for Bad Blood, by the way. Yo, there's I think the premium seats, and these are in the upper 200 section. Let's say it's $350 for tickets in the 200 section for Bad Blood, plus fees. And it says,
don't want a T-shirt and a hot dog and a beer.
Give me that at least. Give me something.
Yeah. All right, that was a spirited talk about Bad Blood. I'm kind of like you, Marcus. I don't know what to expect. I don't know. I really don't. But I hope it's good. Let's go ahead and hop into the 3 count. News and notes, shall we? It's been a very interesting past few days in the world of ProGraps.
Yes.
That it has. First story we got here comes out of Complex Magazine. It involves the artist formerly known as Kanye West, a.k.a. Ye. Ye fist bumps wrestlers at Pro Wrestling Noah event in Tokyo. All right, it's a story by Joel Price on Yahoo Entertainment. In one of his most bizarre public sightings yet, the artist formerly known as Kanye West made an appearance during a Pro Wrestling Noah show in Tokyo. Ye, who recently wrapped up his second performance in China and announced a new album tentatively entitled Bully, attended a Noah event in Tokyo on Monday, September 30th. At one point during the match, wrestler La Danista Wagner spotted Ye in the crowd, pointed to him, and he approached him and gave him a quick fist bump and the identified man sitting next to him. But it wasn't the only wrestler who got in on the action. Another clip shared by a fan. Ye was seen grinning as Los G, because I'm not going to disrespect his name, and Super Crazy and Daga passed by and gave him dap. Who knew that Kanye West was a wrestling fan?
Wasn't on my bingo card.
In 2024?
This was the second year in a row he went to Pro Wrestling Noah, which I didn't know anything about it. Yeah.
I didn't know he was a wrestling fan. I know he had a fashion show with a wrestling show mixed in a few months ago out there in Japan. But I wouldn't take him for a Pro Wrestling Noah fan. Like if he's watching that, he knows ball.
He knows something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows something. Just to think about it. You got a random. He the only black dude in the crowd. The only black dude in the crowd. Who's this black
Probably.
dude? Ah, it's nobody but Ye. Artist is one of those Kanye West.
Kanye
Oh,
West.
yeah. I'm like you, Brad. Apparently, the man knows ball. So once again, man, there's no telling who the hell that you'll see at these doggone events. All right. Next story. Tony Storm. Tony Storm makes rounds in Japan. Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa victorious in Storm's Stardom return match. This story is on from Figure 4 Wrestling Online, F4W Online, and story by Ian Carey, and it goes as follows. I'm not going to read all of it. I'm going to read some of it. Tony Storm wrestled her first match back in Stardom after 5 years today. She teamed with Mina Shirakawa at Korakuen Hall on Saturday in a win over IWGP Women's Champion Miyu Iwatani and AZM. The finish saw Storm pick up the win for her tag team after hitting Storm Zero on AZM. So the Storm will challenge Iwatani for the IWGP Women's title at Stardom Nagoya Golden Fight on Saturday, October the 5th. Oh, okay. The two had a stare down after today's match. Shirakawa and Storm were interviewed backstage after their win, and it appears Storm no longer has any memory of AEW Women's Champion Mariah May. So she said, "The hell with all that. I'm going to bigger and better things." Yeah. So Tony Storm back in Japan, going back to Stardom match. Brad, you are our resident Stardom guy. You are very familiar of it. I watched a little bit of it, but I would love to watch some more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us tell us a little bit about Tony Storm and her time in Stardom, if you remember that, if you remember that far back.
Oh yeah. Tony Storm cut her teeth out there in
Mm.
Stardom before she started doing more her U.S. work. I believe she ended up winning a couple of the championships during her time there, but like that roster was stacked. I mean, it had Io Shirai, it had a young Jamie Hayter, it had who else? Tessa Blanchard was out there. I think Chelsea Green. I think it was before Asuka went to WWE. She was out there too, and it was a very strong roster. Very strong roster. You know, she was doing her regular Tony Storm gimmick back then, with the little with the little tape here and the backwards hat and the sunglasses and all that. Very, very, very cool stuff that she was doing back then. So now that she's back in Stardom, which kind of started earlier this year in Philadelphia, her first time appearing at a Stardom show in over, I think, like 6 years, something like that.
Mm.
Pretty cool stuff to see. And not only was she there, for that tag team match, but she also had a trios match yesterday with Mina Shirakawa and Micah versus Mayu Iwatani, AZM, and like one other person. I can't remember who. But it was an interesting match. It was an interesting match. Like everybody was getting into her usual shenanigans, how she like does the theatrics and the everything. Like she got Mina doing it, and she got one of like the former red belt champion Micah doing the same thing too, which is kind of awkward for her, but she made it work. Yeah, so it's kind of neat seeing Toni Storm go back to her roots in Stardom, kind of seeing what's happening there, continuing stories, things like that. Because when she comes back to the U.S., man, she is going after Mariah May with everything she's got. Has to.
Something about those tours of Japan, man, they do something to you.
Yeah.
They do something to you. You go away for a little bit, and I don't know what it is, man. You go to Japan, you don't come back normal, but that's in a good way. You kind of you learn, you grow, you evolve, and that's what I like about New Japan when they have the young boys. Okay, we're gonna train you here, but we're gonna send you to Germany, we're gonna send you to Britain, we're gonna send you to America, and we damn sure we're gonna send you to Canada, and we for sure they send a lot of people to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
They send a slew of them to Mexico, but it's just to get familiar with working with different styles. Because it's the classic case of, hey, every wrestler on the New Japan roster isn't a Japanese native. They're from all over the world.
Yeah.
They're from all over the world. It's like, hey, just be ready to wrestle this style, and this style. I mean, look, you got Takahashi. What's my man name? Ticking Time Bomb.
Yeah, Hiromu Takahashi.
You got Takahashi. Look at him. He's a luchador. Literally. Wrestling like it's like a strong style luchador, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So you gotta deal with that. And so, it's a lot that you have to deal with. It's a lot that you have to deal with when it comes to that. All right, folks. Third story, fellas, has been speculated for the last longest. It finally happens. AEW. They have a new television rights deal. A new one. Which is phenomenal.
Which is very great.
Yes.
Because at one point, some people were just like, it was looking real bleak. It was looking real bleak for them. But finally, they got it done. I mean, it's the classic case of, hey, you want to run ads? We got this chunk of time slot. You give us X amount of money, and we'll run ads. It's better, than what WCW, as far as ad revenue, because unlike WCW, didn't have too many educated, intelligent people there. But you got Tony Khan, but okay, this is cool, but they can run ads here. We can make X amount of money. It's like this. Tony look funny. He do some funny things, say funny stuff, but when it comes to money, that boy ain't funny about no damn money.
No, he is not.
All right. So the article reads as follows from the New York Post. And it says AEW staying home. Tony Khan's professional wrestling company made it official Wednesday, announcing a new multi-year and multi-platform television rights renewal deal with Warner Brothers Discovery as the two celebrate the 5th anniversary of AEW Dynamite on Wednesday. AEW Dynamite Wednesdays on TBS and AEW Collision Saturdays on TNT will remain exclusive to Warner Brothers Discovery Networks and will be simulcast live exclusively on Max for U.S. subscribers only beginning January 2025. I'm not getting no more streaming platforms. Y'all can go somewhere and play. Might as well keep cable if that's the case. All right. All AEW programming is aired on Warner Brothers Discovery Networks. Will also be available to stream on demand on Max. And you remember hearing this a while back. How they gonna do this? But yeah, and it says the deal is valued at upwards of $150 million per year. Yeah,
that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. Holy moly.
150. Yeah, the deal is valued at upward of $150 million per year. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that is a lot of money.
But
all those people that swore that AEW were on their way out and they were failing, they were about to go out of business, fooled you.
You got sucker. Stop
I
drinking.
don't know why they would think that anyway. I mean, they're literally owned by a billionaire. Son of a billionaire, but that basically makes him a billionaire. So
yeah,
they're not exactly hurting for money, y'all. I mean, he's funding this out of his own pocket, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
This is his baby.
Yes,
this is his thing. For him to be like, you know what, man, I'm gonna go ahead and just start my own wrestling promotion. Let me talk to these who's. I'm gonna start my own wrestling promotion. I'm gonna book it. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that, and it's just, I mean, like I said, Tony Khan might look a little goofy, awkward, and disheveled, but when it comes to that damn money,
I'm sure he picked up some business tips from his dad.
From Shad Khan, from Shad Khan, you know he did, because what does? Because Shad owns the Jaguars.
Yes.
Yeah, Shad owns the Jaguars, and I think he owns a soccer team in Europe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, over in, I want to say, like somewhere in England or something, right?
Yeah. I hear England.
I'm about to say, yeah, I hear Brad on the key, so that's our research department. No, but yeah, but yeah, he owns a soccer team and all that stuff, man. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty damn cool. I will say that. Know what you're doing. Okay, well, if this is success, let's try this. If that's success, try this. And you want to get into pro wrestling. And the thing about it is, man, wrestling is at its healthiest when you have multiple companies functioning, active. That's when pro wrestling is at its healthiest. Because one of the reasons why wrestling was so stale and after they bought WCW and then killed ECW, there was no number two.
Right.
There was no number two. I mean, now you got you got WWE, you got AEW,
TNA.
TNA Impact, GCW,
MLW,
New Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah, Rev Pro,
WXW,
WXW. You also got
AAA. You got AAA,
CMLL. God, I'm missing somebody.
Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, NWA. Wow, Women in Wrestling for the ladies.
Booker T's outfit down in Houston, Texas. Reality
Wrestling.
Mission Pro.
And you had Lucha Underground for a few years too. So, I mean, you had a bevy of companies, and which is crazy. A lot of people came through there to get to where they are today, just because, again, Lucha Underground was such an influence to the professional wrestling business between 2015 and 2018. Big influence. Maybe 2019. Yeah, big influence. But yeah, so many companies that it's so crazy because TK he's the senior president of football analytics for the Jaguars. Yeah. So he gets it.
Probably the heir apparent to the team too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this man is so dedicated to his craft. The man wore a neck brace to the NFL draft.
I remember that. I was like, what the hell is Tony Khan doing?
Kayfabe is still alive.
I said to myself, that's old school right there. I said, whoever had an opinion about Tony Khan, him wearing it to the NFL draft might have made you change it.
Yeah.
Not like, oh my God, he's the greatest in the world, but this man is up there on national live. Like this one dude on Jerry Springer said, man, you got us like on national wide television. Man, what is national wide television? Yeah, but pretty much you got me out here on national wide television in a freaking neck brace, selling the storyline angle. That's old school. Yep. That's 101. That is 101. All right, so that is it for the news and notes. Let's go ahead and ring the bell and go ahead and fly into the main event. Now we know gimmicks come in all shapes, sizes, and forms. Some are cool, some aren't. Some are memorable, and some are forgettable. The question that I pose, gents, what are your favorite gimmicks?
So many. So many over these years. Oh, man. So many gimmicks.
Wow. I know for me, I'm suffering from a lot of recency bias. I'm trying to think back to a lot of stuff from my childhood. And I just ran into a lot of roadblocks with there's so many similar gimmicks. And
Southern white meat babyface.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
Either Southern white meat babyface or just Dastardly Heel or Monster Destroy Everything Heel doesn't really have much of a personality other than just wrecks everyone and leaves. You have some of the cool gimmicks like Flair and the Four Horsemen. They were some of the first cool bad guys, And even growing up, part of me wanted to boo Flair. And I definitely was all about some Sting, but at the same time, I was like, Flair's cool though.
He's so damn cool.
Yeah.
It's unfair how cool Ric Flair is.
Yeah. He's so damn cool. Ric Flair said, I spent more money in bars on one side of the earth than the other. He said, I spent more money on the spilt liquor promo. He called him Buddy Landell. He said, I spent more money on spilled liquor. He could have just stopped the promo right there.
Yeah.
He said, I spent more money in spilled liquor than what you make in 1 year from once. He's like, well, yeah, from one side of this earth a year than what you make. And I was like, you know what? That's. I would never. If somebody told me that in my face, I'd never want to wrestle again. I'm done. I'm about to go be an accountant.
I can't help but I'm custom made.
Yeah.
Wow. Live in the biggest house on the biggest side of the town, on the biggest hill, drive the biggest car. I got life just the way I want it. Like, damn, bro. Okay.
Listen, I'm telling you, like, Ric Flair could talk him into the arena. He would talk him into it. Was Gimmicks. That's the one. He would literally talk him into the arena. Like, it's just, if you look at like Ric Flair in the 80s, he was at his peak. What, the $25,000 suits, the Gators,
Space Mountain,
the ultimate
oldest
playboy.
ride in the park with the longest line.
And what did he used to say? He was like, after we get done taking care of business in the ring tonight, we're gonna be at the Radisson. Oh boy,
at the Radisson.
Yeah. Dang, at the Radisson.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that name in a minute.
Ooh,
yeah.
Boy.
Yeah. He said they're the ones at the Holiday Inn. No, we're gonna be at the Radisson.
That was high living back in those days.
Yeah, or what's another? We're gonna be at the Ritz-Carlton downtown. We gonna be there. And if any of you women want to see you stand a word of femininity, I was like, oh shit, here we go. Ric Flair is the ultimate, entertainer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now him and Mike Tyson smoking reefer together.
Wow. Who would have thought?
Exactly.
Like I tell you, fellas, in 2020 taught me just don't be surprised by what you see and what you hear. And then seeing like, you know what? Okay, I got it. Yeah. So Ric Flair is a good gimmick. Let's see, who is another good gimmick? I like Naito's gimmick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I like Naito's. Yeah. His whole, he just like, I got his belt. Yeah, whatever. Just being careless with the IWGP belt. It has to be the greatest American pro wrestling thing I've ever seen in my life. Actually, no, that's not even American. That's just Naito being Naito. Taking that poor Marcus. Have you ever seen that before with Tetsuya Naito used to do the IWGP Intercontinental title?
I don't think I've seen all of that. I have seen him come out like, in his current reign. You just come out here, just sling the belt over, just nonchalantly or whatever. But I've heard you talk about this before. I don't think I've seen him go as far and do all of that, though.
Oh, man, we got to show you. It's a compilation video from when he first got it. Did he take a hammer to it?
No, I don't think he took a hammer to it, but he used to drag it all the time. And then when he came into the ring, whenever he had his suit and everything, he would just throw it over the top rope.
I've seen him do that.
Just throw that hell out that
belt.
Throw
the thing everywhere, and you know how long it takes him to get out of that suit and everything. It takes him like 15 minutes to get out of his gear. And he used to abuse that belt.
Yeah.
Just throw it everywhere. And I'm like, damn, man. That was like Kota Ibushi would never do this.
Would never. Hey, man, Naito's my dude, man. Naito, he gets the ring, do his intro and everything. Next thing you know, it's time to wrestle. He chewing gum, fumbling with his cufflinks. Somebody trying to get in his face. I'm saying, mess with his cufflinks. And then we get together, and then this joke would take his suit and fold it up, just to piss people off. He had like it wasn't like a frenetic pace. It'd be like boom, 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 3 moves, we chilling. Boom, 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 bottom of 3 moves, we chilling again. Boom, oh, you got me. Boom, 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 and that's it. Yeah, the whole.
He's like laying on the side, and that's it. And then
Low.
yeah. Tranquilo. Like, hold on.
Yeah. Another favorite gimmick that's not too far from that.
Orange Cassidy. I was gonna bring him up if no one else did.
Go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead and talk
Go
about
ahead.
it.
Yes,
Sir.
like I remember when I first really saw Orange Cassidy. It was with the rise of AEW about 5 years ago. I heard about him. I want to say I've seen a couple of clips of him going about. Like there's a clip of somebody rocking him to sleep in the ring or whatever, and then whoever's about to pin him like gets everybody to shh.
Oh
and then
yeah.
the ref's like one, and then he kicks out. And I didn't know who it was at the time. I was like, yo, what is this? But then of course, just once AEW comes around, Dynamite rises to prominence, and seeing him on a weekly basis, and even in the early days of AEW, you saw him, but you didn't see him all that much, and then he just became one of the top guys, if you will, and he's just been on this burner for the last few years, and he's been doing some great work. But yeah, I love that gimmick of just whatever, and every time in the interviews, just everything's whatever. And he seems like one of those guys that lives out his gimmick, even when the camera's on, he's still kind of like that. But of course, in the ring, as we see, he does the little soft kick thing and picks it up, and very similar to what you just said with Naito, Eddie. He turns it on and like it's high octane, and then he does the thing where he flops off the top rope or whatever the case may be. I mean, the guy can wrestle, and he won me over a long time ago. Like, yo, this dude can get down when he wants to, and I just thought the gimmick was funny. That's what wooed me at first, but then to actually see that, yo, this guy can wrestle. Like, no, don't let this fool you. This dude can go. And he can do his thing, man. And he's definitely one of my favorites on the AEW roster, probably in the game altogether right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brad. I'm sorry.
No. I was going to say that match you mentioned. He was wrestling Jervis Cottonbelly at Wrestle Circus. I was at that match. I was at that match, and they were trying to get everybody to be quiet to get him. He's like putting him to sleep, and the ref's like, 1, 2. And then he kicks out, and then he wakes up, and the whole crowd goes nuts. Like, it was one of the greatest things, man. Greatest thing. But what were you gonna say, Eddie?
I like how they had him and Trent Beretta and Chucky T kind of all together.
Best friends.
The best friends. But he was that quiet kid that was just kind of like, these are my boys. I'm just here chilling. Yeah, whatever. But they was more like they were more social. He was more like, man, okay, whatever. What are we doing? The sky is blue. All right.
I got my backpack.
Yeah.
I mean, even down to like his Tron entrance and insert name here, cool gimmick, cool move here. The one piece of power that will go off.
Yeah.
It's just like the whole presentation is just like yes. Yes.
It's so great. Down to the entrance music, because right now I think it's Pixies right now again.
Yeah, he's back on the Pixies.
But he was on Jane for so long, man. Like, Jane got really pushed my Jefferson Starship journey. I was like, okay.
That song was jamming too. Jane, you say it's all over for you and me, girl.
It's a time for love and a time for letting it be, baby. Yeah, that song is just, whew.
I think they got that at the radio station. I think they do. So I'm going to request.
Do they? Oh,
I want to say you know how like on football games when they go to commercial and stuff, they'll play like a song and stuff. I want to say it was like on a college game I saw a week or two ago where they played Jane. Like, hey, it's Jane.
Nice.
I forget the game, but they played it like, yeah, Jane.
Yeah, they're playing a lot of stuff, man. Yeah, so Orange Cassidy got a cool gimmick. Naito got a cool gimmick. Ric Flair got a favorite gimmick. Got a cool gimmick. Brad,
Can I say this?
Oh.
One of my favorite gimmicks in the game right now. I don't know how this is gonna work or translate now. Saying what we said at the beginning of this episode, of NXT transitioning to full arenas.
Mm.
And I long wondered, and several other people, in our chats and in the Blurs of Wrestling group wondered too. Chase U. I fucking love Chase U. Andre Chase, that whole clique, him, Thea Hill, Duke Hudson, I forgot the dude's name, the little flippy dude from England. I forgot his name.
Riley Osborne.
Yes, Riley Osborne.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, it used to be Ridge Holland, but he turned on them or whatever.
Yeah.
But
can't trust him. Nah.
I love what Andre Chase has been doing with Chase U over the last few years, man. It's been very entertaining to me. Like it started out, he's mellowed out since, but I guess when he was a heel, he just came off as like Bobby Knight. And that's exactly who he remind me of. Bobby Knight back when he used to coach for Indiana, just throwing fits and cussing and throwing chairs, and it was just been really cool, man. And yeah, like I said, since he's been a face, he hasn't been doing that as much, but still, like, I found that Chase U has been, the stuff that they've been embroiled with and involved with has been some of the more intriguing things on NXT, in my opinion. Thea Hill, she's just a hoot to watch. She's a little firecracker, fun to watch, just full of energy, just all over the place. She's not bad in the ring either. She's not bad in the ring. I think she's gonna be really good once she gets some, her full stint in NXT out and gets the polish and everything she needs. She's not bad looking either. Riley Osborne, he can go. He's definitely got the cool flippy style. I don't know if it will work super well in WWE just because he doesn't seem to have the microphone ability yet. I haven't seen it yet. Maybe he does. Maybe he might be long term. He might be a better fit in somewhere like an Impact, possibly AEW. But either way, just Chase U. I love that whole gimmick, man. It's cool. They got the student section, the give me the C, give me the 8, the stomp thing that Andre Chase does. Just one of my personal favorite gimmicks in the game right now.
I watched a video about it the other day, and it's kind of like, okay, well, what's the next move for Chase U? Like, could they, it's just, like you said, they've been one of the better acts in NXT for quite some time. You can't deny that. So, definitely. Brad, what say you?
I will say one of the gimmicks that's kind of been my favorite for a long time. I have like 5 to go over, so I'm trying to pick a couple. The first one, honestly, longevity-wise, The Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
The Undertaker's gimmick was one of my favorites because as a kid, before when he was in WCW, when he was meeting Mark Callis, I was like, man, this big redhead dude, he's scary. And then I saw him disappear for a little bit, and then Survivor Series, was that Survivor Series 1990?
1991, I think.
Yeah, I think it was Survivor Series 90. That was my first pay-per-view I got it for my birthday. And to watch that pay-per-view and see The Undertaker debut, and I was just like glued to the screen. I'm like, who is this scary guy? Who's this creepy? And then I paused. I said, wait a second. That's it. That's me, Mark Callis.
Me, Mark.
Yeah. I was like, when did he become a mortician? When did he go to mortician school? I'm like asking my mom. I'm like, Mom, when did that guy go to mortician school? And she's like, well, sometimes these guys change jobs, and now he's a mortician.
That's the best answer. Oh, my God. That is such a great answer.
I was like, okay. And then, just over the years, as you saw him evolve from, that version to, the Big Red Evil to the American, Big Red Evil, American Badass.
My favorite.
Yeah, the American Badass one. like Big Evil, honestly, was my favorite, even though it felt like he was just mean all the time. He was just so mean to everybody, but everybody said basically Big Evil was his personality turned up to 11. So, you heard the way he talked because he was like, with the rotting corpse and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden he turns up, he's like, hey, I'm gonna whoop everybody. Blah blah blah. Blah. He's gonna beat up everybody. And you hear him talking, you would hear that H Town come out. I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah.
You know.
And then I think they used to build him from Houston, Texas.
Yes, because he was from Houston. He's technically from somewhere near Sugarland, but he was from Houston. He was from Houston. My offensive lineman coach was his PE teacher.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. He used to tell us stories all the time. He's like, man, I remember the little gangly 6'7" kid used to come in to gym, and he's like, man, he was just gangly and pale and redheaded. and you know, one of the guys was like, who did it turn out to be? He's like, yeah, it's the Undertaker. And we're like, get out of here, no way. And he would tell us all these stories about it when he was a teenager and stuff. So it was really cool to hear all that stuff. But yeah, his gimmick has always been one of my favorites because it's always evolved. It always went back to the spooky. His was the one that ushered in the supernatural stuff into wrestling, which made it work. Even though, you know, like even in the Attitude Era, he made it work. Even in Ruthless Aggression, he made it work. You know, for a little bit, you know, whenever he was doing it. I think whenever he went back to it in 2004. Just one of my all-time favorites.
I used to like his song, Dead Man Walking. You done it now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do. I can't allow. Man, Jim Johnston was on his shit.
Well,
Hall of Fame.
Jim, can you come back? Yeah. Can you come back, Jim?
Please.
You got to get Dull Knife. I mean, Death Rebel up out of here, bro.
Dull Knife.
You're gonna pay.
Hey, they're on the way out. Sound like them.
Like get the dudes out of there, because those dudes were up to doing Dead Man Walking and be like, ding, Undertaker.
You be generic as hell.
It's like,
and like when that theme song came on for the Undertaker, you done, and not everything. It was just badass Southern hard rock biker music.
Yeah.
And then you look at the Undertaker. That's him.
That's who he was.
That's who he was. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, well, that's it. Yeah, that's it, man. What's another gimmick?
Danhausen.
He's fun.
Very nice. Very evil.
Very evil. With the teeth. The whole teeth thing, man.
Money so you can buy him a blimp and curse.
Yeah, and be cursed.
Like, how? I mean, I guess I could ask, how could Tony fumble him? But if I'm really being honest, I think Danhausen would best fit on either Impact or WWE. Like, his character work is just that sharp, you know? And
yeah.
He you know, in ring wise, he's okay. He's not the best wrestler from what I've seen, but just his character work alone, I think that could put him there in WWE, you know, amongst whoever. He could be a great mid-card guy in WWE.
So it's a classic case of when you look at Danhausen, you know what you're getting.
Right.
You know what you're getting, and you know what you're not getting. So don't get your hopes to it because you know what you are getting. But if you're looking for something else, that's not it. Yeah, man, he's cool. He's like, I curse you, and lean back and curse, and yeah, man, he's hella funny.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say Danhausen is world champion material, but I think he would make a very strong mid-card guy.
I think he would too.
Yeah.
Man.
I could say mid-card champion at least at some point. Yes. But he's great with the comedy. He's very quick-witted. And he's very funny. Because I mean, this man had a match with Microman or Microman, as they call it. And have you guys ever seen him before?
Yes, unfortunately. The guy MLW.
Yes, sir. He had a match with him at a GCW show a few months ago, and it was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. He made it work. It was a comedy match, but Microman got his offense in and he won. But it was yeah.
I haven't seen a Microman match that I've liked. I mean, I've seen midget wrestlers, but little people wrestlers.
Yeah.
But,
yes, little.
Sorry. I've seen that, but he seems very limited in what he can do, and like needs a lot of help, and
Yeah.
he seems a lot more fragile versus other people that I've seen taking full bumps and doing
Mhm.
stuff like that. So yeah.
Like the little gorilla dude in CMLL. I can't think of what his name is, but he wears like a dark red monkey suit.
Mhm.
That dude be taking some bumps. Like there was one time he was sitting on the apron and somebody did a sliding drop kick.
Oh yeah,
And
I've
he
seen that.
flew
Yeah, he
off
like
the
flipped over.
apron and he hit the barricade.
I remember seeing that. Like wow,
And
kicked
even
the shit out of him.
even like who was the other guy? El Toro. They used to be with Los Matadores.
Yeah.
Well,
El Torito.
yes, thank you. That guy, he was in Lucha Underground, but he was under a different mask name. He was one of the minis. I'm still trying to figure out how in the world could you make two Puerto Rican men Spanish matadors on. It felt like 1995 again, but I digress. I digress. Torito and Hornswoggle in the WLC match at Extreme Rules, whatever
WLC.
year that was.
That was.
That match was amazing.
Yeah. They beat the hell out of each other, but it was oh my god.
Entertaining. It was
Not
great.
WLC match.
WLC. They had the mini Michael Cole. They had WBL. Dude, it was. If you can find that on YouTube, go. It's like 10 minutes.
And want a good laugh.
It was a great match. It was probably one of Hornswoggle's best matches he's had in his career.
Mm.
Yeah, El Torito. Oh my god. But yes, Danhausen. I could see him in Impact. I could see him in Impact doing, being in the undead realm, with all those characters and everything, cursing people in backstage. He's like, I curse you, Joe Hendry. He's like, what? He's like, yeah. And then he'd make a song about Danhausen, which would make money. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh.
Joe Hendry. Go ahead, Marcus.
Oh no. Oh, you already. Well, you're already there. You already said his name. So
I'm gonna let you. What's up, man? No. Where you gonna go, Marcus?
I was gonna go with her name came up in the 3 count. Timeless Tony Storm.
Yes.
Wow, this is
That gimmick is gold. Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss.
I mean, at first I was very skeptical, but she has rocked it so hard, and that gimmick is very, very great. The character work that she puts into it, you can see like she's just there,
Mm-hmm.
Even like I don't know if y'all remember seeing whose wedding was that a couple of months ago? Was it Cardona and Chelsea Green, or it was somebody's wedding a few months ago
in TNA?
No, AEW, I think.
AEW.
And like it had a bunch of wrestlers there, and Tony was there. It was her and a bunch of
them girls,
women wrestlers. But Tony's picture was still in black and white. I was like,
yes.
Oh, yes. Was it what's her name with the green hair? She had green hair.
Shotzi.
No.
Green hair. Ruby Soho.
Yes, Ruby Soho and Angelo Parker. They're married.
It was their wedding, and she was black and white in the picture.
Yes.
Full credit.
Like that's dedication right there.
That is dedication. But by the way, that makeup artist that was in that picture, man, let me tell you. Yeah. I've been singing my.
Start doing some hard singing.
Man, old buddy was doing some hard singing in that.
Put on your red dress. Why is you yelling at him for, bro?
Man, he like channeled his inner Teddy Pendergrass.
Turn him off. Y'all remember that from King of Comedy, right?
Yeah.
Teddy P was yelling him. Turn him off.
Oh. Turn him off.
Turn off the light. He made sure that damn light was off.
Yeah. Make sure that damn light. Turn him off.
Turn him off.
that good old hard singing, man. Oh, I love it, man. Good old. Good old hard scene. Old boy, put on your red dress. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
If I'm the girl, I'm like, look, I'm not doing nothing. You're mad right now. You just leave me alone. Yeah.
But man, that picture, goes to show that she lives that gimmick. She's just so into it, and the story of the inspiration of the Timeless Tony Storm gimmick coming from the old Turner Classic movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Perfect. The whole story with her and Mariah May. Perfect. Everything that's happening now. And even in Stardom, they were doing the black and white stuff. Like whenever they would transition in between her talking and Mina talking, or either they were on the same screen together, they would have it black and white.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, when she's on screen, even to like the media scrums, and when the times where she sat on commentary with Tony and Taz and all of them, just golden, man. It's just like, wow, she's just creating these crazy, hilarious moments. It's like this is just, she's found this nice little space of being comedic, but when she needs to get serious, she can. Yep. And it's believable within what her character work is capable of.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, she's always been solid in the ring, and it just really works. It works so well.
It does. It does work. It does work very well, and the whole ridiculous stories that she'll tell during the thing, like her and Wendy Richter, and then and even more recently, she said she had a love affair with Stan Hansen.
I saw it when I was looking for a story. I was like, I'm like, she got a love affair with Stan Hansen.
Like, damn.
And when she said when he spit the tobacco on my back, I about screamed. I said, Johnny, stop it.
and then he hit me with a lariat. Oh my God. Hell, y'all know Stan Hansen was like, was he like partially blind?
Yeah.
He's legally blind. And like they said, his sight of vision was very narrow. So if he was gonna get hit by that lariat, he was gonna get hit by that lariat. I mean, he knocked Vader's eye out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His eye second.
Have you guys seen that match?
Again.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, when he popped it back in and it started swelling up, I was like,
oh,
damn, Vader, you a tough old dude. God dang.
Man, that damn Stan Hansen, man, you better pack a lunch. I like this gimmick too. I like this gimmick, and before I'm gonna get Stan Hansen, I'm gonna say I like Mr. Perfect's gimmick.
Oh.
He was one I was thinking about earlier today too.
Yeah. The way he just came out was just like, look, I'm this athletic built dude. I got this curly hair. I got this ponytail. I'm gonna take a gun. I'm chewing like the whole. How many times? And I've done it more times than I've ever counted. How many times when you get rid of your gum, you spit it out and you whack it?
I've done that so many times.
The towel flip that he would do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the one where he do it behind the back and Bobby would catch it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Or did you see the one where he did it behind the back and like Mr. Hughes was in there and it landed perfectly on his shoulder?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
That was dope.
He didn't even react to it. It's just like, yeah, I know.
I ain't saw this shit.
I used to see that at house shows when Mr. Perfect would come out and he would spit the gum and swat it out. I remember it landed near us one time. It's gross. I was like, ew.
It's like, ew.
It's gum. It's right there. Gross. And somebody picked up a napkin.
And you remember on commentary, he had this pin flip.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
When he take the pencil, he take it and dot the I. I'm like, he perfect for real.
It's like, how can you be that perfect? I mean, if this man throws what was it, an 80-yard touchdown to himself?
Right. Yeah. Who was that? Herman Moore. I think they were the Detroit Lions or somebody.
Was it Randall Cunningham?
No, some old dude from the Vikings. Some old dude. I don't even remember him. Some old dude from Vikings.
I thought it was like Herman Moore.
I could have sworn it was like Randall Cunningham or somebody, but I can't remember.
No, because old boy had like a high top fade and one of them
And he
HP.
had a mustache.
Yeah, and he had one of them HP level mustache. I'm like, man, what you doing? But anyways,
HP level mustache.
We're not gonna share that insight. I should never said
Evergreen, man, evergreen.
Yeah.
I do remember Raymond Felton was the basketball guy, like the basketball player he was with in that one scene.
Yeah.
Felton Spencer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Felton Spencer.
Yeah, it was Felton Spencer. So, like, for him to be like, hey, I'm perfect, and then to hit people with the perfect plays and just, I mean, Kurt Hennig, before he became Mr. Perfect, he was a beast in the AWA.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think him and Nick Botwinkle had a match. They just bled all over the place. Yeah, it was just hard bleeding.
Just hard bleeding everywhere.
Yeah, it was just it was what the Las Vegas Sports something or other, and because AWA had a residency in Vegas.
Okay.
And so they would shoot like a bunch of shows and stuff out there, man. It was I remember I went on a bender because they had ESPN Classics, and I think I watched like probably like 7 or 8 seasons of AWA.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a lot of seasons, buddy.
Yeah. But they had them all chopped up though. But it got real bad towards the 90s. It got real bad.
Yeah, it started getting kind of funky around that time. It was like everybody was leaving to go get that WCW money or that WWF money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because Larry Sabisco was there, and it was like, I'm gonna go ahead and go, and he went right to WCW.
Yep.
Yeah, then that was good. Fellas, we got anything else we want to talk about as far as gimmick wise?
Mortis, and Glacier. Although Mortis was a cool gimmick to me, but we can transition into the bad gimmicks. Because to me, Mortis, the mask, the grandeur of it all, the entrance, everything, right? That whole story was built into itself with Mortis and Glacier. Good guy versus bad guy, Mortal Kombat deal, right? Mortis, Chris Kanyon being one of the most innovative wrestlers of our generation next to AJ Styles. This man was pulling out moves that I've never seen before in my entire life. And this is like 1995, 1996. And now a lot of the moves that Chris Kanyon innovated, a lot of people integrated into their movesets. So, but the gimmick itself, the spooky mask and the skulls and James, what's his name? James
Mitchell.
James Mitchell, thank you, the Sinister Minister.
Yeah.
Fantastic gimmick to the start, but then it just kind of typical WCW fashion
fizzled out.
Yeah, they wouldn't take care of business, man. Because I'm like, that's money.
It was money because Mortal Kombat was hot at the time. Like that's what they were building it off of, and then it just just kind of went the way that it went, and transitioning into bad gimmicks.
I don't think the hype it built up. The dude who played Glacier just didn't live up to that. I mean, Mortis was cool, Wraith was cool, and then you had Glacier. It was like, he was kind of cool. No, as a kid, as a teenager, he was kind of cool, but still, it was just.
And they had to bring Ernest Miller in.
Yes.
To solidify his karate gimmick. His martial arts.
Call his mama.
I'm about to call mama. But
I'm the 5-time world kickboxing champion. Pow! And he
Cat Bo.
He had the DVD cover in WCW talking about some.
He's running around here in Atlanta somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm mad. I had the chance to go see him at one of the Battle Slam shows, but I chose not to go that night. And I kind of wish I would have, just to see Ernest the Cat Miller.
Dang it.
You got to think about it. Like Ernest the Cat Miller, he's still relevant.
Yeah.
And that was only like, 20 years ago, and he's relevant. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Hella crazy.
Insane. And then even, in Dimension, I know where we get you like favorite gimmicks and least favorite gimmicks. Gobbledygook, like I'll start the gobbledygooker.
Ooh, yikes.
I think that was that same Survivor Series.
With Undertaker,
Yeah. As a kid, I was like, what is happening here? What is this for? What is this big ass turkey looking thing coming out of here dancing with Mean Gene? I don't understand this. WWF, what are you doing?
Yeah. Bad gimmicks. Akeem the African Dream.
Oh God, yeah, that's awful.
What is he doing?
Hakeem.
Yeah.
Even worse, coming out with Slick and his Jive Funk Soul Bro, whatever that mess was, eating fried chicken in his video, setting black people back 500 years. Like, damn, man, what the hell?
Look, as far as setting ourselves back, we got that covered. We don't need you doing that. we don't need you doing that.
This fool up here eating chicken in this video.
I'm a Jive Soul Bro with blah, 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 blah.
The Jive Soul Bro, and yeah, Akeem, and that one video, I don't know if y'all seen it, it's circulating around, like it was Akeem versus Dusty Rhodes, and Dusty was hitting him with the bionic elbow, and Akeem was doing the little whatever before he fell down. It was still like, dang, that's what you think of us? Jeez.
For the deepest, darkest parts of Africa. That.
You mean the same guy who was the one-man gang? He's all of a sudden from the deepest, darkest parts of Africa?
Thank you.
And why they got to be deep and dark?
Right? Yeah. And he's like a light-skinned dude. I was like, wait a minute. How in the world he gonna be from the deepest, darkest parts of Africa? And they do the like a Cajun white dude. What is this? What is this?
Man is white.
That and Samba Simba.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that was
dude. Awesome. Did y'all see his debut match where Roddy Piper was on commentary?
What did he say?
Roddy Piper, he say, Samba Simba, that's Tony Atlas.
Oh no, I think I do remember hearing about that now.
I did a revisit of 1990 through 1996 WWF last year. That would never not be funny. He's like, Samba, that's Tony Atlas. And then Vince McMahon's like, well, Tony Atlas decided to go back and check his roots. He went back to visit his roots, and now he is Samba Simba. Oh and Roddy Piper's like, I don't believe this mess. That's Tony Atlas.
Now.
Dead in the water right there.
Exactly. I was about to say the same thing. I was like, as soon as Roddy Piper said, Samba Simba, that's Tony Atlas. And then Vince like, well, he went home and da-da-da-da-da-da. Roddy Piper's like, man, F that. This gimmick sucks, and you know it.
And so Tony Atlas is like,
yeah.
Samba Simba.
And he had the mask, the grass skirt, and everything else. Oh, my God. I was like, Mom, this is setting us back like 400 years.
I was watching TV. I was like, what the hell is a Samba Simba?
Samba Simba.
And he was just one of them big man. I'm like, I don't, Samba Simba. Fellas, it's about time for us to go ahead and get what I call the hell up out of here. It's been another episode of the Conversations of Pro Wrestling Podcast. Action-packed, fully loaded. We run long. You know we run long? Because we good. The conversation good. The talk good. Because you be talking to that girl on the phone like you used to back in the day. Like, now you hang up. 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 1, 2, 3. I hear you breathing.
I hear you breathing.
I hear you breathing too. I know. We both breathing. What do you expect, kid? Yeah. Hang up. With that being said, it's been another episode of the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling Podcast. We talked about everything tonight. If it wasn't nailed down, we was talking about it. Thank you once again for rating, reviewing, subscribing. Just stay tuned, man. We got a lot going on. Yeah. Any questions? Feel free to ask. You know how to find us. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm going to have the Linktree link done so you can just go click it, find it, and do what you need to do. For Eddie, for Brad, for Marcus.
Yep.
Take care. Be
Peace,
good.
y'all.
Have yourselves a great night. Oh, I almost forgot. And in closing, do something nice for yourself. And if you can do something nice for yourself or someone else, they're greatly appreciate it now more than ever. Be a blessing, not a burden. This is the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling Podcast. I knew something was missing. The sparks weren't clicking, but we got it.
The sparks, they were.
The sparks were clicking. So many one-liners, so many insiders.
Evergreen
Yeah.
content, folks.
We might let you inside one day, but we might not. Because if we do, it won't be as funny. All right? Y'all take care. Have a great night.
Peace, y'all.